Hey, what's up, world? This is Scribe Anu. I'm the founder of Afro Innovator and Afro Innovator Exhibition, which in whom I organize with Skyra Martinez of Cielo Galleries and Studios and Zoe Black of Urban Soul Farmer. Um, I'm a multi-digital media artist that is a VR developer as well as also an AR developer working with Unreal and Unity. I don't find too many, quite frankly, black females out there that are working with this technology. So I decided to share with projects that I'm working on and developing. Um, If you want to check out stuff that I'm doing, you're always welcome to come and visit my website, which is here, Afro Innovator. I started Afro Innovator in 2018 to be a news information gatherer for, you know, people of color, black, us, to show what we're doing creatively and inventing, stories of how we are being cutting edge and inventing things and so on and so forth. So right here is, if you go to the website, you can find some really good articles on what we've done, what we're doing, and resources to what we can do. Also, I have feature content here. You can check out the gallery and see what we've been doing. So that's the website. But like I said, as a VR developer and AR developer, I wanted to kind of share and show my process as far as what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and hopefully to be encouraging to, you know, other members of our community, especially females. I know, we're breaking into film in different areas of tech, but like I said, I haven't really ran across, at least in Los Angeles, um, any of us that really are doing VR development or you know, augmented reality. There's only few. Well, actually, I take that back. Let me go back to the website. There is an artist that I ran into. A wonderful artist, digital artist, and I actually have her work featured here. And that is Paco Michelle Atwood. Now, what she does is very interesting. She's been working with Second Life for a long time. Um, and what she does is she creates in-world experiences based on what she's encountered. So the gallery she's built, the events that she's gone to, she creates these in-world experiences from actual places that she's gone, and she imports them in there, and people around the world that are able to, you know, go in world are able to see these works in her galleries that, you know, haven't been able to travel to these places and spaces. So that's the wonderful thing about doing this work um, with Afro Innovator is being able to running into cutting edge individuals in our local communities and bridging those divides and coming together, because for so long we have been, you know, the ghost writers of invention, and we need to know that we exist. So with that said, I was introduced, as far as my own developments, to a interactive project. I'm really excited to be delving into this um, and developing this. This will be the first of my kind, and really cutting edge for me. So I was approached to do a music video by this wonderful, talented man. He goes by the name Willie Guilty. If you don't know who he is, he was the percussionist for Quinto Soul. He recorded at Bob Marley's studio, and you can catch him spinning and doing his thing. He's a phenomenal DJ and artist. So, you know, he spins world and Afrobeat music, and he approached me to basically shoot his video. So he has a song called Mexicayotl, and upon meeting with him, I felt that it was a perfect project to do. I had to take a pause there because it was like, okay, in knowing him, we both knew that we were going to work with each other creatively at some point in time. So the prospect of shooting a music video and having me do that, shoot, edit, and direct for him, was a prospect that was put out there a couple of years ago. And I hadn't been at the place and space that I am now, where I'm working with interactive tools. I've always been upgrading and updating, because it's always about the narrative for me. So in reconnecting with him and him approaching and him being ready and me being in a different space and time, put me in a place of Music video. Okay. We have 360. Um, I have 360 cameras now. I could shoot a 360 video and integrate that, and that would still be, very cutting edge for its time, because as I'm noticing with people who are doing 360, that even that is still experimental. But then a part of me was like, why stop there? So, when after the meeting and after listening to the song he presented, which is Mexicayotl, and starting to work with VR development, I was like, why stop at video? Why not turn video into a full-on interactive experience, especially with a song like this? So I started working on visualizing and brainstorming on what that could look like, because that is crossing so many bounds. So I created the first visual build in twin motion, and I created this short video to present him with a walkthrough of what I was proposing. And like I said, this video is just a walkthrough of the beginning level, but this song, I intend on really exploring the full interactive experience of what the song speaks to. The great war between Spain and the Aztec Empire, the original 3 papal bulls that were signed that sanctioned slavery, and also the monopolization of it by Portugal, and then later on the doctrine of discovery, to actually turn these into full-level experiences, interactive experiences, is really, I'm really excited. So this is the basis of my sharing the process. So from that video, let me go over here to monitor 2. what you were viewing was the beginning visualization that I had put together in a program created by Unreal that's called Twin Motion. It's a great program with what you're capable of doing. I was able to, import some assets here that are, you know, easily imported and available. I mean, like I said, this is really, really a great program. And this is my 3D start. So what you're looking at is what would be considered in video games, or now in, VR spaces, this would be considered the lobby. And you would be sailing across the waters to this hidden temple that actually would act as a portal led by this Aztec ghost of the past. And some of these assets that I was able to bring in, that I plan on using in the actual project, like this Aztec calendar, is an actual asset that's on display in a museum that someone captured using photogrammetry. This one as well, of this Olmec statue. This is a 3D capture in photogrammetry of an actual monument, as well as this. So, with this lobby being the beginning point, you'll be able to grab hold of this scepter, and it will be kind of like one of the tools you'll use as your guide, as you're teleported through time and experiences. So what I placed here are 3 placeholders. They are to represent the 3 papal bulls. Now, papal bulls, let me look that up for you right quick. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to do a quick search just to show you what is a papal bull and the 3 that I'm speaking of in particular. So a papal bull is basically a a document that is supposed to be signed into law by an official, or specifically a monarch. And the three that I'm speaking of in particular, two were signed by Pope Nicholas V, so he signed in two papal bulls dealing with Africa specifically before Columbus did the papal bull for the discovery, the doctrine of discovery. So he did I have all of these notations written down, but Dum Diversus, that is the papal bull that he decreed in 1452 that pretty much stated that Africa was to be conquered in its entirety, and that we were, as a people, to be placed under perpetual slavery. Perpetual meaning never ending, unchanging. A couple of years later, I believe around 1455, was the papal bull that he wrote that gave Portugal the monopoly on that slave trade. And then, of course, 1493, after Columbus ran into the New World, he ran into it, what was it, maybe like a year prior, and Spain, right after, declared that it was to be conquered. But I'm just giving a background on what these three placeholders and what the experiences I intend on expressing when you interact with this experience I'm creating for this music video, or for this video experience. So, like I said, this was my beginning visual process. To be in an ancient space, to be teleported through time. And it's meant to be not just contained in ancient, um, uh, not just contained during the ancient, for the time period of the ancient past. I want my goal is to um, express how these very experiences transcend time. So the times that we are currently in. So the landscaping. So these are some of the models that I'm going to be using. Twinmotion is great as far as a visualization tool for 3D. For both 3D, but in particular VR, via headset, and VR for desktop on platforms like, so far what I see is VR video on channels like YouTube for people who don't have headsets yet. But I needed a more robust program. So, with that said, the next phase of what I've been working on is I just completed the landscape in Unreal. So that was a rough landscape. This is the landscape that I've recently created that's going to be not just the home for the temple level, where I'll be, placing the hidden lake bed for the temple, but also some grass terrain that the viewer or the experiencer, the user experiencer, will be going through. So right now, like I said, I just created the landscape. So this checker pattern you're looking at is the default material. I haven't textured it yet. I just wanted to get a real good landscape, which I did. I'm very pleased with it. There's some real nice erosion. Let me go ahead and maximize this. But I was able to get some real nice erosion in here. And the version of Unreal Engine I'm using is 4.27. I'm still choosing to work with 4.27 at this point in time, even though they've come out not with just Unreal Engine 5, but 5.1, but still 4.27, at least for my major building, is the most stable with the most supporting material. I want them to kind of work more through their kinks and bugs, especially when it comes to VR. And what I'll probably do, because what I am interested in is the nanite technology that will cut down the processing power significantly. And also, of course, lumen, where I don't have to worry about a lot of light baking. So, you're looking at this terrain, and I really want, what I'm doing right now is just an overview of it, but it may not seem to be, but the terrain is massive. It's really a large terrain. It's a 2K terrain that I created, and I'm about to give you like I said, this is my camera overview. Now I'm going to use a third person character to kind of give you more of an idea of the scope, the range of this terrain. So let me go ahead and do that now. So what I'm going to do is switch over here and go into, oh great, I already have it set. So what I'm going to do is go into third person game mode. There's my character. And this character is kind of a visualization tool for the scope and scale of the terrain, any geometry that I create. So that overview, it looked like, yeah, that was a clump of a section, but I'm going to use this character to show you just how large this terrain really is. Let's go ahead. Oh, oops. I didn't mean to switch out of that. There we go. Let's take a run here. Ooh, you're not doing so high full screen like that. Let's see. Let me go ahead and dismiss this. There we go. There we go. There's my guy. I wonder why it's running slow right here. So let me minimize the screen. Oh, no, let me come up. Yeah, let me minimize the screen. No, not this screen. This screen over here. There we go. All right. So as you can see, in the scope and scale of an actual person, this terrain is quite large. So I'll be able to pick out areas of it. Let's see. I can't wait till I start texturing it, because once I start adding, rock detail and sand and trees and lakes and streams, and on these outer borders actually having some ocean front, because I want to add ships, colonial ships pulling up to like island edges. Yeah. With this one terrain, I really have a lot to work with. So let's see, where are we? Okay. What I'm looking to get to is the destination where, look at that. It's like standing on a mountain peak. So where I'm looking to go, as I'm, sharing and showing, is the new area where I'm going to place the Aztec temple. That's going to be the lobby from the original, from the rough visualization project that I shared. So and it's meant to be this hidden sanctuary. So placing it hidden deep within my mountain terrains that I create is perfect. That sense of seclusion. And sacred space. There. Ooh, wow. This is beautiful. I'm really, I really love this terrain I created. I'm excited about it. I was up working on it till 5 a.m. this morning. I believe I started on it possibly, well, I started working in the program, working in Unreal maybe around 1 o'clock, 1 p.m., and got started actually working it. And this is still not it. I believe it's hidden over that other cliff. But yeah, I think I started working on the actual terrain itself. Preparing the project. That it was going to go in. Maybe around. Oh, are you going to be able to get up this hill? Do I have to find another way around? I'm going to have to do. Wait a minute. I'm going to have to do another overview to point out where I'm going to have the hidden the area for the hidden oh, no, this is it. I thought I was going to have to do an overview to find out where I was going to sit the temple. Like I hid the temple from myself. The temple. Yeah. Or did I? I'm going to have to mark it. But this just, speaks to how large this play area actually is. So, but yeah. This is another exciting phase in my development for this project. I've also, prior to this, worked on building VR hand controllers. So mechanics for the mechanics for, you know, anybody who's worked with VR knows that when you enter into certain experiences, the controllers that or even when you just, when you're dealing with Oculus, which that's what I'm building out to, is going to be Oculus. It is Oculus. But the controllers become actual hands. So, ow, oh, I'm tearing my stuff up. But no, don't do that, please. Anyway, so I've already mapped out the mechanics. Well, some of the basic mechanics to the controllers for hand movements, so to be able to grip and pick things up for interaction, and to, the teleportation system, the basic things to be able to maneuver around in the VR space. So I already have those, mechanics built out in a separate project that I plan on importing into this one. And like I said, this is just the lobby level. So I have definitely more to come. And I'm happy to share. So I hope you enjoyed my sharing my process as I'm, building and working on this interactive experience for Mexicayotl. I hope you ride the journey to the end, and seeing how it turns out after sharing and viewing the process. So I'll catch you all next time. Peace. Have a great one.